Hi everyone, the trading card collector with more One Piece metal sets. Today is the first time I am making a video from my new place, so I hope everything goes alright here. As you can see, this is not my usual table where I normally film everything. I'm still kind of settling over here. And I thought that today I would just do a quick comparison on different metal sets. Now, if you've watched any of my recent videos, you will have seen that the One Piece metal sets have just exploded in popularity. It used to be that metal cards were about like one per case. It used to be a big case hit, but now we have all these sets, and we basically just have full sets that are just straight up. Every one of these boxes has like one metal card inside. And I have 5 different boxes here, which I'm not going to open. I'm just going to show a bunch of them that I already have open, because that is going to be a lot cooler, because I do have a bunch of them already open, so we can look at those. But here, in order, we have 2 different sets of Wangshu. This is Wangshu Volume 1, and then we have Wangshu Volume 2 here as well. So these are 2 iterations of the same series that is called Wangshu. I also have this one, which is called Queen Chang, or also known as 7 Stars. This is going to be confusing because there is another set that is also called Queen Chang that is coming out next week as of the time of me making this video. Then we have this one. This one comes in mag cases, which is why it's a bit thicker. Some of these do not come in mag cases, just a thick plastic sleeve. This one is called Shingmolu. And this other one is called Queen Chang. So these are all different, 5 different metal sets that have, all of these have been released in the past couple of months. But honestly, there's like a new metal set coming out pretty much on I would say on a weekly basis. We have like one new One Piece metal set coming out, and a lot of them come out in very cool cases. So I'm just going to show the cases as well real quick. Now, this one here, this one is Wangshu 1. So this is one of the cases for Wangshu 1. The case normally comes as a redeem prize. So you can, if you put one of the boxes inside with a redemption card, then you actually get the case. So this case is half over. I am selling this on my Whatnot stream. And this is actually my last case. So this is everything that I have left here. As you can see, this is how typically I sell it, right? I just number the boxes, and I let people just pick up whichever number they want out of the case. And then I keep track of like the big hits. There's a couple of tickets here. I can show some of the tickets. These I generally open ahead of time because you have to, because the tickets have different rarities, and when you get an actual card for the ticket, it just tells you like, oh, this is the ticket that is serialized out of 10. But you don't know that until you open them, which is why some of these are open. But like this is a Ling Ling, which is basically Big Mom in One Piece. And it's a big, thick metal ticket, and you can see this is serialized out of 10. One of these boxes inside has that redemption card for the out of 10 ticket, and there's a different ticket which is different serial and everything. But yeah, so this set comes in this cool case. I'll throw that out. There's going to be like 3 redemption cards left here in total. One for each one of those tickets, and then another one for the case. A different case. Let me actually show. This was Wangshu 1. Wangshu 2 is pretty similar, actually. But the case is not as good. It does come in a wooden case. Now, this set was not particularly good in terms of the case, because most of the cases were damaged, but I have like a similar thing here with all the remaining boxes in my case. This is my final case for this. I was lucky I got one undamaged box, but in one of these sets, the bottom was cracked, so you basically had to glue it together. And then one more box I can show is the Queen Chang, also known as 7 Stars, which is this one. All right, this is the Uta box. This one is not wood, it's magnetic. I've only opened a couple of boxes from this case. It also has a ticket, but this one is steel sealed. And these are basically the Nami boxes, right? The Nami boxes that I have over here. So, which in the cases, let's take a look at some of these tickets. And I actually do have other tickets from a different set that I don't have cases because I don't have any more boxes left. I'm going to show some of these tickets, and then you can let me know which one do you like best. And I'm going to start with Wangshu 1. So in Wangshu 1, here are some of the tickets, right? All of these are very, very thick metal slabs, as you can see. And you're basically going to have nine cards per rarity. This one is, if you can see it over here, this one is called the OR, and you have the Yamato with wings. And this one is not serialized. So, which basically means when you have something that is not serial, it basically means you're going to get 2 of those on every case. You can also have a high serial number like this one. This one is serialized. All of these are from Wangshu 1. This one is serialized out of 158. That typically means you're going to have 2 of these per box. So it is a bit weird that they have basically the same frequency, this non-serial and this serial. Basically, that means to me that these ones should also be serialized out of 158, right? Because the volume, the number of cases printed should indicate how many of those cards exist. And if you have one of these where you have like 2 per case and there is 9 in this particular tier, it stands to reason the other one should be the same as well. But regardless, like this one, for whatever reason, this one has a serial number. Here we have an Uta, so you can see, and then you're going to have 9 cards in this particular rarity as well, with playing instruments. Basically, this character is just playing some instruments. So we're going to put the Wangshu ones over here. Here's another serialized out of 158. This is the one that's known as the Black Wings. The Black Wings, and here we have the Nami with the Black Wings. It was like Wangshu 1 in general is pretty solid. And they do have some pretty cool cards. Now, here we have a case hit. Right, this one over here is serialized as well, but is under 100. This one is serialized out of 88, 27 out of 88. Anything that's serialized out of 100 basically means there's typically just 1 per case. And this one we have a Yamato. We have a Yamato with an umbrella. And I do believe some of these are UV reactive, so I do think that some of these, if you have an UV light and you shine it on them, you'll be able to see some cool splashes of color. All right, and 2 more for Wangshu 1. Oh, that just cracked open. Now this one is also a case hit, 7 out of 88, and it has like the One Piece and a silver stud in the back. There's a couple of these like this in the set, and these do come with a certificate because that's supposed to be real silver. And this is another Yamato. It's another Yamato with the clock. As you can see, all of these cards are from the same set, but like each rarity, each tier has the completely different, unique style. So that is pretty universal on all of these sets. And then I have one more Wangshu 1. Actually, I stand corrected. I just realized as I was opening this. This one is not from Wangshu 1, it's from Wangshu 2. But, you know, I have it here, so I'm going to show it. This is a Sailor Moon collab. Right? This is a card that has a Nami on a Sailor Moon outfit. Now, Wangshu has done this on both series. They've done like the Sailor Moon collaborations, and they've also done a Gundam collaboration, which means that you have 9 of those cards with One Piece characters, in this case with Sailor Moon outfits, and in the Gundam set you have them with basically with a Gundam in the back. Now, there is a Sailor Moon on Wangshu 1. I just realized I don't have one here. So this one is not from Wangshu 1, this is from Wangshu 2. So I'm just going to put it down here because it's a different set. Actually, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to put it up there. But here we have a bunch of just Wangshu 1s and Wangshu 2 tickets, cards, sorry. I can also show, we have, well, I was going to show you a ticket, but I already did show you a Big Mom ticket over there. So, so these are Wangshu cards, right? Wangshu 1 and Wangshu 2. Let's take a look now at the 7-star set. So 7 stars, I have a few of those over here. Not as many though. This would be like the 7 stars, also known as Quishing. So I have like these Yamato, for example. Some of these definitely on the spicy side, by the way. So here like 25 out of 88. And here we have a sexy Yamato. This one is going to be a case hit as well. So anything that is serialized out of less than 100 typically means that it is a case hit. So this is a Yamato. This would be for Quishing 7 stars. Then I have a couple of Rebecca's over here. 48 out of 88. And this one, I do believe this is black light UV reactive. Right? If you shine a UV light on it, you're going to definitely see those colors. Now that is Rebecca. This one is definitely on the spicy side. But it is not the spices, right? The sets, all these metal sets tend to be like a combination of like spicy and non-spicy. And then we have one that is even spicier. So that one is another Rebecca actually, but that is much spicier as well. I do think this is, yes, this one is also a case hit. All right, and then this set also has the collabs, and I have two of these with Ghibli. So if you, I'm a big fan of Ghibli as well. I do love the Studio Ghibli pictures. And we have a couple of those that are basically, here we have an Uta Ghibli. I know this is a Ghibli set because it is a variety and I've seen the card list. The card list is on my Discord channel as well. But to be honest, that Uta doesn't really have anything Ghibli that I can recognize. This is another one I have. This is the Shirahoshi, and obviously you can see a Totoro right there. Right? And you can tell like these two are from the same tier and in the same style. So this is another one of the Ghibli ones. I do not really know what's supposed to be Ghibli from here. But the when you collect these sets, the collaborations, they tend to be the most popular cards. They tend to be like people that really, really chase the collab cards. So from here, I've mentioned about the Gundam ones. I don't have any samples to show, unfortunately. But there's the Sailor Moon collab from Wangshu 2, and there's like a couple of Ghibli collabs from 7 Stars. Now let's show a different set, shall we? I do have, let me show a bunch from Wangshu 2. So from Wangshu 2, some of these also on the spicy side. Here we have a case hit with a Reiju in chains. It is pretty cool. I mean, these are all serialized, of course, 92 out of 98. It is pretty cool how all those frames are completely different. Not just the style, but the frame is different on every single card as well. And some of those are really intricate. Right? When you look at those, super, super intricate and cool. We have that Reiju over there. There's Spicy Boa. Case hits 26 out of 98. These ones are basically called the librarian cards, but also super intricate frames and everything and studs. And you're gonna have again with every variety. This, if you can see here, this is FR number 1. With each one of these sets, you're gonna have 9 cards, each one with a different character. The vast majority, I would say, are just the female characters from One Piece, and some in very spicy positions, some in the more tamed ones, I would say. Maybe a few of them do have some male characters. They've started, Wangshu especially, they've just started introducing some Zoro cards. But it is, to be honest, a bit uncommon. Now here's another collab, also from Wangshu 2. And this is 76 out of 80. This one is a Labubu collab. So Labubu has exploded in popularity. It's one like the first Chinese IP to just make it globally. And this is a carrot, One Piece carrot character, and she's holding a Labubu. These are also very highly sought after. Most of the collabs, I would say, like generally are pretty popular. Here are more Wangshu 2 cards. And we have like the big guns. I do not know if this is from any particular collab. I don't think it's a Gundam one because there was like a different set for the Gundams. We're like Boa holding a very large, huge gun. Then, here we go, another one also from Wangshu, which is, you can say this is the bookend, right? What's called the Omega, or the bookend. It's 66 out of 66. And we have, when I first opened this card, I thought it was a Robin, because it kind of looked like a Robin. But actually the characters read BV, so this is just a BV. Let's put this one back in its case. And continue showing other ones over here. We have like the Sniper Nami, which is, to my knowledge, this is not a collab. It is also a low serial, 46 out of 66. And here we have the Sniper Nami. I didn't have a couple of these. I did sell the previous one I had. I think I had a Perona as well, which has been sold. but I did have one of those. And yeah, I think that's it for those. This boy still needs the case. There are other sets. I do have a few other... Oh, sorry, I've not done Queen Chang. Let's do a few from Queen Chang. So Queen Chang, some of these still have the plastic in here. Now, Queen Chang, this is one of the boxes that does not come with like any redemption prices or anything, but it has like super cool cards. So look at the frame, super intricate, and the image and the quality is insane. Now, this is just a Shirahoshi, which is pretty much nobody's favorite character. But you can look at the frame and the quality of the craftsmanship, and it's just fantastic. And I do have a few more that are not Shirahoshi, also from this set. Right, so I do have a sexier Nico right here from this set. As you can see, the frame is actually the same as the previous Shirahoshi, and the backs on all of these are the same. And I do have a few more that are a lot rarer, right? They had very similar frame. Not all of them have the same frame, of course, but it's like an awesome Piranha writing on a papyrus. And this, as you can see, serialized only out of 40. So that is very rare, right? 18 out of 40. So obviously those are going to be case hits. You only get one of this particular rarity on every case. And I have two more from Queen Chang. One of them is like this Nami Black Widow. Very sexy image. As you can see, the design, even like the style is completely different on every different rarity. This one is not even a case hit, which means you're going to get another one of these in the case. Typically, that's the pattern they follow, right? Case hits, you're going to get one per case. Non-case hits, two. In some instances, three. Of course, there's also some cards where you do not get a warranty of one per case. And you might get like, there might be like 6 different case hits on a certain series, out of which you only get one on a case. And let me show you one last one from this Queen Chang, which is this Nami. It's an awesome Nami. This is the LC rarity. Inside a shopping cart. For some reason, this has become very popular lately, to have characters inside a shopping cart. Because I've seen this in like 3 or 4 different sets already. This one is also a case hit. It's also a 25 out of 40. That's a case hit for that Nami. Yeah, there are some samples right there. Let me also show you. I did show a Ling Ling ticket earlier. There are other tickets, of course, on the different sets. They typically, especially the Wangshu sets that have multiple rarities. For example, you have, and all of these are also very thick, very thick metal slab tickets, right? This is very heavy. But this is like one of the samples of Wangshu 2 redemption tickets that you can get. And this is a very cool Nami with a gun. Obviously, this is not not canon. I do not know if this belongs to like any particular collab or not. And I can show you like another sample ones. These are also from Wangshu. One of those cases, you would typically have 4 tickets. 4 tickets. Each one of those has like a different, belongs to a different tier. And you don't have a warranty. You don't really know what you're going to get. That is 42 out of 78. Especially with when you're going into the low rarities, right? For example, I have this Nico Robin with the wings and the sword. This one is from Wangshu 1. And this one is a serialized out of 20, right? So it's not even out of 10. So it's less, it's a bit more common than the out of 10. But you can also get out of 10 tickets, right? Like this one is from Wangshu 2. And this one is also a Nico. Very cool background. On this one I was pretty lucky, and I got a serialized number 1 out of 10, which are typically worth a lot more than the regular ones. I mean, out of 10 tickets, generally pretty pricey to begin with, but if you get a number 1 of any serial, that's always, a lot better to get. I also have a few cards. There's another set. It was called Kang Kyung. So I can show you. These are definitely a bit more on the spicy side. I don't have any sample boxes to show you because I already opened all of those. But you have some of those. Here we have a very sexy high school Uta. And they also had what I call like the kitty cat ones. And I do have like this Yamato kitty cat. Yeah. We're getting close to the not safe for work sort of card here, right? That's 22 out of 88. But as you can see, so we have this Yamato on the sexy side. I will just mildly cover it, although, you know, there's nothing forbidden, I think, being displayed there. But hopefully the YouTube gods will not complain about that. And yeah, and I think I can close. I mentioned earlier, metal cards, they used to be big chases, right? Because it used to be that you would just get your normal cardboard set and you would only have like one metal card in the case. And that was like a big chase, right, for people. So I'm going to show you now a few of the metal cards from non-metal sets. Back when the metals were like a big chase, before every single set was a metal one. So I have a final round of metals here. These were not, all of these that I'm going to show next, these do not belong to an actual metal set. These were just metal cards from non-metal sets that you could get as redemption prizes. So we have a Reiju here. I look at the how intricate that is. Not just the frame, but like the card itself. We have one Reiju. This one's probably one of my favorites. So we have this Piranha, also with all the studs over down the side. Super, super crazy. All of these as well, serialized, of course. This one has like a very grainy and glittery feel to it. This is 13 out of 48. And look at that frame in the back. It has so many, they're so intricate. Like so much work goes into those. And let's see, here we have a boa. Also sort of like the same pattern with all the studs and everything, although this one has a couple of studs missing. Sometimes that happens. But all of these do have your serial here in the back. And I have a couple more I can show, and then we can close the stream. This one has like studs of every conceivable color. We have here a Nico with wings, similar frame as the previous one. We have that Nico with wings. And the last one that I have that I can show is this Yamato, also from the same set. But all of those are from different varieties, right? Here we have a Yamato, also with wings. They really love to put wings on them. We have a very cool Yamato, very similar back, although this one is pink. And that is a serial of 16 out of 48. All right, there you have it. This is generally just an overview. All of these are metal sets that I've run recently on my Whatnot streams. The link to Whatnot is on the video description if you want to join those. But yeah, typically the cases that you've seen, I will show those to people. People will just grab boxes and we will rip them open right there. And I number all of the boxes so that people know exactly which one they're getting. And I try to keep track of which big hits are left, although in some of these older sets, honestly, I do lose track sometimes. But as you can see, like every set completely different. I would say like the collaborations, especially like big IPs like Gundam or Sailor Moon, those are definitely the big drivers, and people really chase those guys and people really like them. But yeah, right now, if you're a One Piece fan, if you're a metal fan, it's a great time to be alive because there's like one new set being released pretty much on a weekly basis, and they all have some very awesome cards. Some of them, I mean, I'm showing some of my favorites over here, of course. Some of them are less so, but that is all subjective, right? So some people might like them, some people might not. But yeah, typically that's what it is. You buy one of those boxes, you get like an unknown metal slab in here. You might pull a ticket that will just net you one of those. You might pull a redemption card that might net you one of those tickets. Highly sought after, especially with the low serial. Or you might just pull like a pretty awesome card. But yeah, if you're interested, feel free to join me on the Whatnot streams. I try to have at least a couple of streams every week. And I tend to like sell all of these, seal boxes, and trade whichever one I have available. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please join me next time and see you online. Cheers.